Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard MMe-Glam deck profile. This is the new Lyrical Monasterio deck that we got out of the Set 2 Illusionless Strife, a fiery deck that I guess is supposed to be unlike the other lyrical, musicians that are on the whale for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. And with it, very interesting playstyle, focusing on the MMe-Glam units, and then also just being able to use those additional units for multiple attacks with the deck as well, using our main go-to MMe-Glam Rugia as our main go-to play for that setup. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for starters, with the ride deck consisting of the energy generator and our starter, which is MMe-Glam Blue Crea. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is MMe-Glam Jana. When rode upon by a grade 2 with MMe-Glam and its card name, choose a MMe-Glam Blue Crea from your soul, call it to rearguard, and this card, and also you call this card to rearguard, and at the end of that turn, put them into the soul. So with this card, you have the option of when you ride the grade 2 MMe-Glam card, choosing the bouquet from your soul, call that card in this to rear, giving you more of a rear guard setup with your different MMe-Glam cards, with our grade 2 in the ride deck being the MMe-Glam Vert, or Verte. When rode upon by a grade 3 with MMe-Glam and its card name, if your soul has a MMe-Glam Blue Crea, draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, and put it on the bottom of your deck. So more setup just to sift through more cards of the deck, and Blue Crea will go back into the soul after it, attacks or boosts, with the grade 1 Jana using its own skill as well. And then our grade 3 in the deck is the MMe-Glam Rugia, and with the setup in the deck being the additional grade 3s, we're running 3 more copies of this card in the deck as well. For this card on Vanguard, once per turn, you can Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or less card with MMe-Glam and its card name, call it to rear. If you searched your deck, shuffle your deck. So just a once per turn search or soul setup power. And on Vanguard, at the end of the battle this unit attack, if you have 3 or more units with MMe-Glam in their different card names, counterblast 1, choose a MMe-Glam Blue Crea from your soul, ride it a stand until the end of turn. That uses all of its abilities, and it gets plus 2,000 for every card in total in your and your opponent's damage zone. And at the end of that turn, choose a MMe-Glam Rugia from your soul, or drop and ride it as rest. So this gives you the setup for the restanding Vanguard using your Blue Crea as the attack power. The more damage you have in both your own and your opponent's damage zones makes this card all the more powerful as well. And also it negates its abilities, so you don't have the when rode upon option for more draws using it as your restander also. For the grade 2s, we do run a good number of grade 2s in the deck, but 3 copies of MMe-Glam Vert. With this card, when rode upon by a grade 3, you already know the ability for the setup of draw 2. But on rearguard, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If your Vanguard is MMe-Glam Blue Crea, Soul Blast 1, retire this unit, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retired. So we actually have retire power in a Lyrical Monasterio deck, which once again kind of shows that the MMe-Glam units aren't like the other Lyrical Monasterio units. But still, it's MMe-Glam in name, so we definitely want to run full copies of those cards as well. 4 copies of Overcoming Countless Defeats, Amdusia. With this card, when placed on rear, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with MMe-Glam and its card name from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So this card's just more search power, needing the MMe-Glam units for you to make full use of your Rugia Vanguard. And on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with MMe-Glam and its card name, this unit gets boost. So you can provide, the boost power if need be, if you have to put it behind your Vanguard Rugia as one of the units to boost it with, or even just one of your grade 2 MMe-Glam monsters that you may have revealed and added off it to provide additional power, thanks to that card also. But a definite 4 of, because it just helps to grab the needed cards we want for the deck also. And 4 copies of Dazzle Bubble Paradise Prussia. Just a use for our energy blasts in the deck for the draw power, as well as being able to choose a rearguard unit, return it to hand from rear, as more bounce power for protection for some of our MMe-Glam units that we don't maybe want to be retired by our opponent's cards as well. And we also run the 4 copies of the new Loving Pink Friend set. The first ability is for Chris Rain, but the second rearguard ability is when this unit attacks. If you have 3 or more units with different card names, this unit gets +5 to end of turn. If you have 4 more units with different card names at the end of that battle, choose up to 1 of your other rearguards and return to hand. So just a free cost return to hand, so making it a very, very useful rearguard to rely on for just more bounce power, just like our Dazzle Bubble Paradise Prescia. And also for the rest of the grade 2s, 3 copies of Fly Up My Heart Person. When this unit is put on guard circle, you put a card with Flame Glam and its card name from your drop on the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets plus 10,000 shield to the end of that battle. So more recycle power as well, being a grade 2. It can intercept against your opponent as well, but the recycle power for our Flame Glam units is where this one definitely does come in handy for that added defense power, but also recycle power, since we don't have too many units with Flame Glam in their name to begin with for the deck. For the grade 1s, 3 copies additionally of Flame Glam Jana. On rearguard at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If your Vanguard's Flame Glam Blue Crea, you can retire this unit and countercharge 1. So it also helps to set this card up in the drop zone for you then to recycle it with Person also for countercharge power to make up for some of the other counterblasts that we use in the deck, including our other Flame Glam rearguard support, which is Dive to Blue Licorice. When your Vanguard with Flame Glam and its card name attacks, you can counter +1. Put a card with Flame Glam and its card name on the bottom of the deck in from the drop to draw a card, and you get all of your units with Flame Glam and their card name get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So another additional boost in power if we need to give it to our starter. That will be written on the Vanguard circle as well as an extra +5 shield when your Vanguard with its name attacks. So when it provides that attack, you can use this card as an add option for, powering up our Vanguard to begin with. And then also the 4 copies of our Sentinel, just running the Diva of Refreshing Calm Christine. Just, there are plenty of different ones. If you wanted to run Elementary Sanctitude, could just be another spot to put in for this card. For the orders that I run on the deck, I'm only running 2 copies of the new Call and Response. You play it with a rest of a rearguard. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 card from among them, call to rear, put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So searching out the specific Flame Glam cards that we may want for the plays in the deck at the cost of resting 1 other rearguard that may not be a Flame Glam in name, but one that we definitely want to use later on for that setup. And then for the trigger lineup, we're going with the 7 criticals, so 4 copies of Precious Tune Edwidge and the 3 copies of Wings Dancing in the Blues Antia, with our draws being the Transparent Snowy Net Baratois as the preferred one, just having the 1 sadly with this deck currently, but our heals consist of 2 Hush Diva Hortense, the 1 copy of 2 of Us Flow, and the 1 copy of 2 of Us Rhyme, with the over trigger of choice being the Spiritual King of Aquatics, Eidos Faro, just for more add back power, choosing a card from your drop, putting it in your hand, and then choosing one of your units and it gets critical cost 1 also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. I grew to like this deck more and more as I was building it, just with its unique playstyle, very, very similar to Michu, but still in its own more of a rearguard reliant one to make use of the starter, re-ride for your Vanguard. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.